rights activist Medgar Evers. Though he served in World War II, he was present at the landings on Normandy Beach. Following that time, he went to apply to law school but was rejected due to his race. He then went on to become the first field secretary for the NAACP and is with William Henry Christman. Now, he served in the Civil War, but before he could serve in any combat missions, he passed away from the measles. Up until World War II, it was more common for our service members to pass from the measles or from disease than it was for them to pass from service. Now, on the passenger after World War II, it is a gorgeous bell tower and it plays gorgeous music on Sundays and on over the summer as well. Now, if you look on the markers on either side of us, you'll see the letters USCT. And this stands for United States Colored Troops. These were segregated troops of African Americans who fought with the Union. Now, also as you go through, you'll see markers on either side that say either citizen or civilian on them. And that's what you're seeing here on the passenger side. Now, some of that was for in-ground burials. Some are in these columbarium courts, these buildings where cremated remains.
Ito.
Sa Japanese talaga. Saan sila?
Palit ka laban. Dili siya ay lakas nila mo palit.
Yan sa batik.
Not even his name.
Nawala na itong baby.
¿Cómo me fue una foto, pues?
Ik sta hier bij de begraafplaats van John Fitzgerald Kennedy, gestorven in 1963 toen hij vermoord werd in Dallas. En dit is zijn begraafplaats. Hier ligt hij. Met zijn vrouw Onassis, Kennedy Onassis, en nog 2 kinderen.
This street right here on the side, not this one. You will at the brick staircase turn right, and then that'll lead to
For those of you who have just joined, welcome aboard. My name is Erica. I'll be your narrator. This is BB, our wonderful driver. We're going to have a look over on our driver's side and see two very unique grave markers here. One is black and gold in color, the other is shaped like a globe. These are for Matthew Alexander Henson towards the front and Admiral Robert E. Peary at the back. Robert E. Peary, in many of his Arctic expeditions, he played a pivotal role in the 1909 expedition to the North Pole by befriending the Inuit people and learning the Inuit language, who then further assisted them to reach the North Pole in the first place. Your next stop here is going to be for General of the Army's John Blackjack Pershing. This is actually a very unique title, General of the Armies. It is a title given to those who have command over all branches of the U.S. Armed Forces, and it's equivalent to a 6-star general status. Only 2 other men in history have Lieutenant General George Washington, our first president, 200 years after his service. The second, most recently, in December of 2022, was Ulysses S. Grant, which makes John Blackjack Pershing the only man in history to have earned the General of the Army's title while alive. He is the highest decorated soldier laid to rest here in the entire cemetery. Now, because he is the highest decorated soldier, he could have had any type of grave marker he wanted. However, he decided there was no higher honor than to firstly be laid to rest surrounded by the men he commanded, affectionately known as his doughboys, and to secondly be laid to rest underneath the exact same grave marker as them. So they will all have the Vermont white marble grave marker that we'll see on either side of us here.
please remain seated while the vehicle is in motion. Keep limbs, objects, and loved ones inside the vehicle at all times, and please only get with the exception of water. On our way back down to the Welcome Center. We are about to enter into the Arlington woods. It'll be on both sides of the vehicle. This heavily wooded area is kept in this condition by the National Park Service. It helps serve as a reminder of what this property used to look like back when this was an 1,100-acre plantation. An area like this was maintained in roughly this condition for its lumber, for heating and cooking, but also be quite profitable for sale. While the rest of the property was devoted to. He is notably the only civilian ever laid to rest here in Arlington with full military honors. And while James Parks may be the first and only civilian laid to rest here with full military honors, President Kennedy, not the first or the only president laid to rest here. We also have our 27th president, William Howard Taft. He was the only man to head both the executive branch of our federal government as President of the United States, but also the judicial branch as Chief Supreme Court Justice. And he said he liked that second job much better. President Taft had also started two lasting baseball traditions here in the United States. He would throw the first presidential pitch, and later that same game, Taft, who was a famously large man, our heaviest president at roughly 350 pounds, grew quite uncomfortable in those small baseball stadium seats. So he stood up, take a stretch, and when the president stands up, protocol demands you stand up, starting the time-honored tradition of the 7th inning stretch. Now, President Taft is laid to rest here in the cemetery with his wife and First Lady, Helen Taft, often affectionately called Nellie. Now, she, along with the Japanese ambassador to the United States, the resting place of President William Howard Taft and his wife, Helen Taft. Now, whenever I do mention those cherry blossoms, I get reminded to not forget the death of a friend on one of those desolate and destroyed World War I battlefields. The artillery bombardments, chemical weapons, and trench warfare of this conflict left much in disarray. But despite this destruction, overlooking a hastily erected military cemetery, he noticed just one thing still managed to grow: those red poppy flowers. This would inspire him to write a poem which he would entitle, "We Shall Not Sleep." The very final stanza goes, "We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunsets glow, loved and were loved, but now we lie in Flanders fields." And today this poem is often called "In Flanders Fields." There's a reason red poppies remain international symbols of service, sacrifice, and veneration.